and good evening. Welcome to the FTB Premier League show with myself, Deji Spurs, Sam Spurs for life. Welcome from Paxton Road, and Darius 3K. Welcome in the building tonight. We've got a fantastic show lined up. Obviously, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving you score predictions. What's a Premier League preview show without predictions? So you're going to be getting predictions. You're going to be getting expert opinions and thoughts from Sam for life. And also, Sam, as we were just talking just before we came on the show about how much of a relief it's going to be like talking about other teams.
Oh, mate. Honestly, I'm just, like I said, we get to actually talk about teams that can play a bit of football. So I'm happy, mate. I'm just want to talk about some good football for once.
Well, the thing is, we got to do our game first. So I got a little bit of a jig, but still, that's all right. It's all good. It's not a problem. Let's get our one out of the way first, get into this thing, and then we're away, man. We're, like I said, big games this weekend. Big games.
Totally agree. So look at the first game. Is there Friday night kickoff this week? The first game this weekend is just bear with me as I get my fixtures ready. Yes, the first game this weekend, Fulham versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Over to Sam. I'm going to go over to you, actually. Your thoughts, predictions, some reactions from last weekend.
On this game, so this game, again, is obviously a bigger game for Fulham than it is Wolves. Wolves they're almost like stumbling towards the end of the season now. Fulham still got a lot to play for. They're within, I guess, touching distance of Newcastle. So I would expect them to put on a performance. I actually like the way that Fulham play. Scott Parker is proving to be a very good coach. Whether or not he can take that to the next level if he was to get a job, let's say, at a bigger club. But what he's doing at Fulham and what he's getting them players to do in terms of their performance, I can't knock him at all. It's a pity that he's not in our coaching setup because I think he'd add a lot to it. But that being said, you never know what the future might hold. But in terms of this game, I think Fulham are going to go through. Not go through. What am I talking about going through? I think Fulham are going to put on a performance in terms of, getting the result because they need to. And I think Wolves, just with the way that they're playing, is kind of like a bit of a nothing game for them. So I expect Fulham to really go for this game.
So what's your score prediction for this game?
Oh, yeah. Now pushing me on the spot. Well, Wolves had a bit of a comeback the last game I saw them play. So they usually leave things into the second half. Fulham tend to come out the blocks fairly quickly. I'm going to go for a Fulham home win, and I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham. Oh, man's he's writing it down. Oh, no, he's got me on the hook with that one.
I'm writing
no
this
going
down.
back.
Don't you worry. That was over to you.
I'm going to be a little bit bullish about Wolves, because I don't really think Wolves have been that good at all this season, and I think that's because they lost their main guy. I think if you lose Raul Jimenez or your main striker, I think obviously you're going to feel some sort of kickback. I mean, Fabio Silva came in for a lot of money, about 30-odd million, and he's an 18-year-old kid who played about 30-odd minutes of football or 500 minutes of football, something like that for Porto. So I can't really expect Wolves to really be that good. And I think they lost Patricio as well. Is Patricio still out injured after that head injury that he sustained? Is he? Is he still out?
He's not playing.
He's not playing. So they lost their number one goalkeeper as well. So, and before that, they weren't that good. But for me, I really think Wolves have been that good. I think Nuno is it seems a little bit stale. They've kind of had individuals kind of bring them through games. People like Pedro Neto, who's just, for me, he's a superstar in the making. Honestly, I think he's that good. I didn't even realize he was only 20 years old. And
you know what?
He's top player.
Just sorry to interrupt you. You got a point there about Wolves because I'm just looking at their form in the last 5 games. So this is in reverse order: drawn, lost, lost. So them mans ain't. They
haven't been good. I think where a lot of us look at Wolves individually and their players wise, and we kind of say, oh, they got good players and they finished 7th twice and they kind of look good. But if you actually think about the games that they played this season, they've not been good at all. And the table or the position that they're in is kind of showing where they are. And I think you put it perfectly, Sam. It's a nothing game for them. They're pretty much safe. I think they know that they haven't really been good because they've lost their players. So I don't really think they're going to really go out for it. I think Fulham will take the lead. I agree. I think Wolves will score. But overall, I do agree. I think Fulham, because they are a good team, first of all, because they are fighting for something, and because Scott Parker will attack and kind of go for it and kind of, like I said, have a reason to go for it, I think they'll win. So for me, I don't want to predict the same as you. I'm going to go, because I don't see Wolves scoring. I really don't. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Fulham.
You know what? I can't change my mind because that's wrong. But
No,
I'm just looking at the form. So I didn't do my homework properly. But I'm just looking at Fulham's last 5 games. Again, in reverse order. Lost, won, lost. So them...
I know, but performance-wise, Fulham do look better, though. You have to admit. Even though they've lost their games, they kind of seem like they're fighting for it. Wolves just seem like they're labouring through the games.
Yeah, no, I hear you. To me, I predicted for Wolves to get a result against West Ham last week. They lost 3-2 to West Ham. I was disappointed to see Fulham lose against Villa. I thought they was going to have a better performance. And I thought it was a little bit hit and miss for me. I think Fulham, I agree. I like Wolves. I love Neto. I would swap
100%.
Neto for Dele Alli all day, every day. But to be honest, because I've been let down by both teams last week, I sit on the fence for this one. And I'm actually going to go for a 1-1 draw.
That's what I would.
I just
If
can't see.
I could have changed my mind, I would have done the same thing had I could change my mind. But
I hate 1-1.
I've gone with a 2-1, so I'm staying with it.
I'm going with a 1-1 draw because I don't trust the teams. I think Fulham, as much as they play good football, I just think they've let it go too late. And I can see them going down. I would love for them to stay up, but I see them going down. So
who, Fulham?
So 1-1 draw. You're live and direct. FTB Premier League show, and it's not financial advice, but definitely I am definitely bullish with that draw. We've got Man City versus Leeds United. And Darius, I'm going to come to you because as soon as I dropped that fixture, it was like your eyes twinkled. It lit up. What are you saying? Game. What is the score prediction for this one?
That's a game, man. That's a game that you know is going to be a good game. I know we can. And you know what? I've kind of come a little bit full circle with Leeds again. I'm the opposite with Leeds now. I was bullish about Leeds at the start of the season and kind of criticized them for their naivety. But you know what? They're actually doing pretty well. And if you're being honest with yourself, Leeds are where are they in the league now? I think they are 11th, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, they're 11th on 42 points, same as Arsenal. And they are 2 points behind Aston Villa in 9th. And they are 5 points behind Everton in 8th. Leeds just getting into the Premier League this first season. I'm not going to lie to you. Sheffield United finished 9th and we were praising them. And that was one of their best ever finishes. So for me, it's working for Leeds. And why not carry on with the addition of a few more players and maybe a depth in their squad and maybe a better, I don't know, maybe defensive? Because I think Luke Ayling at centre-back isn't great. I think maybe they need a more commanding centre-back. But Leeds have been good. So I think they're going to give City a challenge. But let's not forget who they're playing. It's Man City. So I think we all know what the result's going to be. But I don't think it's going to be easy for Man City. I do think that if they do decide to play a lot of the players that played on Tuesday against Dortmund, you might see Leeds take the lead. You might even see Leeds dominate the first 20 minutes of the game. They might try and choke out City, try and pressure them. But I just think that quality-wise, and also the fact that City have got such a massive squad, you probably won't see a lot of those players start, and the team will still be of that level. So I think entertainment-wise, this would probably be one of the best games of the weekend, if I must say so. And it'd probably be a big scoring game. Prediction-wise, I'm going to go... It's a bit mad. I'm going to go for 4-2 Manchester City.
You are going mad, aren't you?
Yeah, no, genuinely. I think Leeds are going to try. I think Leeds are going to kind of have like beady eyes and kind of want to. I think City will be a little bit fatigued. They're going to start slow, I think, because of that Dortmund game. I think that Dortmund game is a little bit tougher than they expected. So I think Leeds will try to sort of, take advantage of that, and they might get a little bit too greedy and leave a little bit too many spaces behind. And I think City will always, if De Bruyne is on that pitch, if Foden's on the pitch, if any of their players are on the pitch fit and going, they're going to score goals. So yeah, I'm going to go 4-2. It's a bit of a mad scoreline, but you never know with these leads, man, do you? You never know with these leads, man.
You just never know what you're going to get with Leeds United, and I kind of hear you. So that's quite a bold prediction. 4-2 City. Sam, what are you saying? Are you in agreement with Darius?
No, I am going to go against that. The reason I'm going to go against that, City, I think they've got one eye on this Champions League game. 2-1 is not a score line to take into that next round next week against Borussia Dortmund with any sort of confidence that they're definitely going to go through. They should be favourites, but obviously Foden scored that goal late on. I think Leeds being mid-table now, comfortable, they're on 40, 42 points. 42. They're safe now. City, again, they're pretty much safe in terms of winning the league, so I don't think they need to worry about that. 14 points clear of second place. They ain't got no problems in losing this league. So again, I think their focus might be fully on Dortmund. Not completely, but in a sense where this game is not really anything to them. It's not going to make a difference to City in terms of winning the league. It's not going to make a difference to them, having to qualify for Champions League. So I think Leeds could do it. I'm going to go a little bit on the Leeds side, and I'm going to say Leeds could possibly win this 3-1.
3-1 Leeds.
Yeah.
That's a crazy prediction in my opinion. Leeds 3-1. That's a big one. I think that's bigger than a 4-2.
Well, we'll see.
You never know, but you never know because they put up a good performance against them early on in the season. Was it I think it was one of the first games of the season, wasn't it? They put up a great performance. Oh, we're on our own now.
Oh, Deji's gone
him. We're taking over the show. We're taking over the show.
Go on,
I agree. I agree with you in the sense of that City are going to probably. They're going to not go full throttle, but regardless of that, look how many players are in that team. And even if even if they didn't start players that didn't play in that Dortmund game, surely they've got enough in that squad to see through the Leeds team. And I think Leeds will probably leave a lot of holes. But no, you do never know.
I think Leeds will be. Leeds haven't changed the way they played in any game I've seen them play all season. So they are going to go for it. They're going to either be very much hit or miss. I just think this is a great opportunity then now because of City's dominance in the league and because of this Champions League thing. Usually, teams I know they didn't have to travel away, but it was a tough game. It was a game that, City had to put in a lot of effort to get the victory against Borussia Dortmund, and that always takes its toll in the next game. And a team like Leeds, who are high energy, high pressing, always wanting to make you play, I just think that energy level, given the fact that Man City might just have a little bit of an eye on this game next week, I think it possibly could be Leeds United. I'm getting Leeds United. I'm still getting. Was I say 3-1?
You said 3-1. Yeah,
okay,
that's gonna be a good game. I think you can agree with me. That will probably be the most entertaining games of the.
He's back. He's back. But he's upside down. What's going on now? You're sideways.
I don't know. Sorry, gentlemen. I'm having some technical difficulties this evening.
You do know you're sideways as well. You might need to adjust your.
I need to flip the camp.
Oh, there you go.
There he is.
That's better. There we go.
He's back. Deji, what's your prediction for this game? Because I don't know if you heard my friend Sam over here, but he said 3-1 Leeds.
3-1 Leeds.
I'm getting big.
He said 3-1 Leeds.
I explained myself, Deji.
He did explain himself.
Wow.
He did.
Okay, I really I didn't miss that. I do apologize, but that's the joys of technology. At any moment, it can decide to do its own thing, and you're at its mercy. So apologies there. Look, for me, I would say that I agree that Man City, they've probably won the league now. The problem with Bielsa is that, and that is not a problem. I like his bravery. He is gun-ho. You know what you're going to get. So Leeds are going to go gun-ho. To be honest with you, I actually predicted Leicester to beat Man City last week. And I watched Man City rest, arguably, some of their big boys for that game. And they were comfortable winners. 2-0. It was very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
With the way that Leeds play, so open, and Leicester were quite tight at the back during that game. And they still
did they play 3 at the back of that game as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
so my prediction would be, I can look, Patrick Bamford is like Marmite, isn't he? You know, some days he does something, but most of the days he doesn't. You know, I'm not sure. The jury's out on him. So my score prediction would be that I can see Man City winning this 3-0. Their squad, they've got so much strength and depth. You know, they don't even have to play the big boys. Their second string would probably finish second in the Premier League. Their C team will probably finish third. They're that good. So based on that, I'm going to go 3-0 City.
You man's thinking that City are going to stroll this. I can't see it. But anyway, like I said,
it's not the strolling. I just think that what you're saying is true. I do think that Leeds are going to go for it. And I think what they'll do is go for it a little bit too much and kind of underestimate City. And that's what will be their downfall. I think they will take the lead, though. I do 100% agree that they're going to catch City sleeping slightly.
The thing is with me, when teams go at City, so we should move on to the next one, but I'll just quickly, when teams go at City don't always, they don't like it. So, you know, it's almost like Leeds have got nothing to lose in the sense because they're safe. City, again, a little bit of fatigue, maybe. You never know. But like I said, this is what the predictions are all about. I'm still staying with 3-1.
I like the energy. Muted.
Oh, Deji's on mute now. You're on mute. Mute.
Big up, lad. Sorry. It's one of them.
Technology day.
It's technology day today. Technology day today.
Bob Spur TV, big up, lads. We're all waiting for City
Big
to
up,
have
Bob.
a poor game. Hopefully, it will come on the 25th. We really hope so. But the truth of the matter is, it's highly unlikely. And even though it's the McDonald's Cup,
Deji, no, we can't go off now. Don't do this.
Against Spurs. And if you watch the game against Newcastle on the
He's gone.
That is a dream and a half.
He's gone.
So,
Deji, mate. We got a while before that.
You've already gone viral with your predictions already when you told about the McDonald's Cup and you was pointing your finger. You've gone around the world with that. So
I'm not joking. I am not joking. I kid you not, guys. Look, we're moving to the next game. Liverpool, Aston Villa. Maybe I'll start off with this one. I think Liverpool are back. You know, I predicted 3-1 Liverpool against Arsenal, and 3-0 was slightly better than what I expected against the South Londoners. And they look strong. They dominated the game from start to finish. Arsenal just about had a shot on goal first half. Jack Grealish is back for Villa. But I think this is the ball run. You know, Darius, you talked about the ball run at the beginning of this, and I can see Liverpool winning this quite comfortably. And I'm going to go with a 3-0 prediction to Liverpool. I think Salah could probably get 2 goals. Mane will finally get on the score sheet. Again, it's not financial advice, but you're hearing it live and direct here on FTB Premier League show. But I can see a 3-0, and I can see Liverpool making a big charge to finish in the top 3, to be honest with you. I think they've had their barren run, and I think they're back. So I'm going to go 3-0 Liverpool.
Deji must be a Liverpool supporter underneath, though. He must be a Liverpool
you know what
supporter.
it is? I think Liverpool are not a bad team. It's unfortunate the way they've kind of fallen off their pedestal, but I think they got a bit carried away. I think they overhyped themselves and thought they were a little bit too good. But the thing about the Premier League is that teams suss you out very, very quickly.
That's true.
Take it from me, we sussed Spurs formation sitting back within two games, all right?
I'm loving the backhands. Every single game there's going to be a Spurs backhand, and I love it. I'm here for it. I'm so here for it.
He does not waste any opportunity.
I'm so here for it. So here for it. I love it.
I'm just
listening. On that note, 3-0 Liverpool, and Sam, over to you. Your prediction.
Right, again. So I'm going to lose a little bit more of the old games that have been played. Did you see Liverpool against Real Madrid? They were awful, in my opinion.
Pretty bad.
They were terrible. Bad. And they have to... This is their season. In a nutshell, for me, their season, top 4 is still achievable for them. But if I'm honest with you, there's a lot of teams in that top 4 race. I think they are really looking to try to get something in this Champions League. Now, being 3-1 down against Real Madrid, they've got to go and play them. When is it? Next Tuesday, I think it is.
Next week, yeah.
Man, that's a tough game. So, again, they're one of them teams where they're struggling with injuries. Their back 4, Trent was terrible. Robertson looks like he's running on empty. The back 2 of, is it Caban, whatever his name is, Phillips. Them
Come
mans,
back and finish.
them mans are not ready for game after game after game after game, and that's the only central defenders they got. Again, I'm looking at the game that they've already played in midweek. It's always like history always tells us. It's always a tougher game to come and play in the Premiership at the weekend. Aston Villa, it all depends on Jack. Is Jack Grealish available? That's what I'm.
Yeah,
he's back. Is he back?
He's back.
Nah, there you go. Right,
But
so
I
I'm
didn't know
already
that.
on it. I'm on it now because I'm Jack all day. He's my man. He's my man. And when that brother plays, England, I've told you before, England be setting everything around. Anyway, going back to Villa. So I think they've got an opportunity to take it to Liverpool. And I think Liverpool not going to roll over and die because I don't think they will. But I don't see them putting up performance after performance after performance. So I think they're going to probably save it to the game on Tuesday. 2-0 Villa.
Wow.
Write that one down. Write that one down. We're going to come back.
I'm
to
liking these predictions, you know. I'm definitely I'm have to go on this post kickoff.
Sam, I'm not even gonna lie. You're the accumulator buster this weekend with a 2.
I'm liking it as well.
2-0 or 2-1 Villa?
2-0.
2-0.
2-0. Liverpool not to get on the score sheet.
Their front line's been trash. Their front line's been awful. I think they had one shot on target against Real Madrid. They haven't had lots of shots on target in the last few games. They've been terrible at home at the last whatever. Arsenal served up. South Londoners, as they do, they play well against us, but everybody else, they're shocking. So, you know what I mean? That was always going to happen. You know what I mean? So
some comments in just before I bring Darius in. So, Brezzy, hey, how you doing? Welcome. Thanks for being in the room. Bob Spur, I noticed Sam has been on the gym early today.
You can't tell what this is.
Wow.
Hey,
These nuts, why they going at me like that?
Mate, anything's possible. Evening, my enemies for the weekend.
Oh, gosh. This could be in the house.
When we get to the game, we're going to give you a nice breakdown of the Spurs Man City, Man United game. And look at me, Man City, because maybe there should only be one team in Manchester. No, I'm not. That was a joke. But Man City will win on the weekend. If you are enjoying the content, everyone, please like and subscribe. Please push us up to the magic 500. Brezzy made the same mistake the other day in terms of score predictions. That's why we can't use emotion, when we're, especially with the Arsenal games. You've got to use your head. I did warn them. I caveat before the game. They didn't listen, and they lived to pay the price.
I hope they continue living that.
4 weeks rest. Gonna need it, Mr. B. Well,
why is Mr. B trolling now? Why? You see, they always.
What's the score in their game? Let me double check. What the score in
Go and watch your game, Mr. B. Stop playing Granada. Stop watching us,
Grenada. Whatever they are.
Yeah, I've been Adams is called me out this week.
Oh, they're winning. They're winning.
Did I not watch the Liverpool game this midweek? The thing is, I didn't watch the game actually, to be fair, but Real Madrid is not a bad team. And so I wasn't surprised by the result, to be honest with you. But the way that they dominated Arsenal and they spanked them, I just feel like Liverpool, to me, I think will come back. But I think time will tell this weekend. Look, we're moving on to the next game this weekend.
Edge! Didn't even let me give my prediction.
We're moving on to the next game. I'm over to you, Darius. Sorry, Darius. Do you know what it was? Sam got me on that 2-0. I just wanted to...
You know them.
That's what happens, man.
All I'm gonna say, I'm actually not gonna say too much on it because I don't think I've got a lot to say. I'm just gonna remind you guys what the score was in the reverse fixture of this game.
Ooh, low blow. There's no need for that.
They got spanked. That's a
low blow.
Jack Grealish is back. That's a big factor. I don't think he'll be 100%, but Jack Grealish being back is going to be massive. If he's on the left against Trent, don't know about that one.
No, but do you think for real that Villa could do the double over? Are you suggesting that Villa could do the double over Liverpool?
Just
like a freak match.
I am.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that wasn't a freak match. That was 100% a freak match. And I'm also not saying that Real Madrid aren't still great, because Real Madrid, if you look at the Real Madrid team, that midfield is still, even though they're in their 30s, Cruz, Casemiro, and Modric were just, they were put on a show. It was amazing. And their defense was great. And there's not many excuses that Liverpool attack can have, because Ramos was out injured. Varane had coronavirus. So it was Nacho and Eder Militao in defense. So for me, Mane's been awful this season. Mane's been so bad this season. Salah and Jota, I think, will do enough for them to get a result. I think it will be a draw. I'm going to say 2-2 personally. But I'm not going to lie to you. Liverpool, I'm not sure about Liverpool being back, Dej. I think they'll have to win every single game to get in that top four because I'm not saying that Spurs are already better than them, but I feel like West Ham are pretty much clear better than them at the moment. And I think Spurs have got a better run in than Liverpool. I think last time I checked. So they're gonna have to win every game. I think if they're gonna get that top four, and I don't think Villa's gonna be I don't think Villa's gonna be an easy game. So I'm gonna go 2-2.
Brilliant. So 2-2. We've marked that down. Again, just going back, the chat is going off the chain.
It's going fire till I can see that comment.
Fire. It's brilliant. Bob Spur, yes, lads, in the chat. There's to a double over Man United. Come on, Bob
please.
Spur. Although you might
a little bit of positivity.
On my prediction this weekend, Sam, delighted to say, completely on fire tonight. I totally agree.
Yes,
Paul, Grealish has been out so long, he'll come back hungry. Liverpool going
100.
down is possible. And you know what? Grealish is trying to fight to get into that England squad.
Yeah.
Mate,
did you hear what Southgate said, guys?
Yeah.
What?
He said that Lingard is playing so well that Grealish might not have a certified guaranteed spot on that plane. That's what he said.
You know what? If he starts talking like that, I'm not watching no England games. That's what I'm saying. That foolishness that they're starting to... Nah, man, I'm not having that.
Do you know what it is? I think Southgate just wants Grealish to be on his toes. I think Grealish's place in the England squad is as secure as Kane. Kane ain't
cemented.
Whether he's going or not. Kane just wants to know what time he's got to get on the plane.
Cemented.
What colour the armband's going to be.
100. You know what I'm saying? It's whether he brings the Louis V bag or not. It's one of them ones. There's no doubt he's getting on the plane. No doubt.
I'm happy Grealish is fit, though. I'm happy he's fit for this game.
Grealish is definitely fit. Look, let's move on. There's still lots of chats. We will be bringing it in. Brilliant. Keep the chat function coming in. We've got Crystal Palace against Chelsea. This weekend.
Dej, can I take this one, please?
Yes.
If you don't mind. If you don't mind, can I take this one, please?
Yes.
Because you know what? I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this, guys. It's Chelsea. I get it. West London, London rivals. I don't want to say this. But I love Chelsea at the moment. I'm sorry. But they've got Pulisic, who's one of my favorite players. Havertz, who's one of my favorite players. Kante, who's one of my favorite players. And now they've got Tuchel, who's one of my favorite managers. And they lost that game against West Brom, but they came back and they dusted Porto. And Porto played okay, but Chelsea looked comfortable. And I remember a quote that Tuchel said. He said, "I'm going to make this Chelsea team pain or difficult to play against." And that's exactly what he's done. And you know what? I think they're going to be City's closest rival to the title next year. I think they're that good. I honestly think they're that good. And I honestly think they're going to go to the final of the Champions League this year as well. That's how much I rate this Chelsea team. I don't know how we've come in, turned Rudiger, Christensen and Azpilicueta into a defensive, literal defensive machine. I don't get it.
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say, I didn't, you know, sometimes as a fan, you step out and we say, look, you should play these people, you should play that people, and they should be able to play football. But this Chelsea team under Lampard to under Tuchel is night and day.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I hate it.
Had we got Rudiger when we had the chance,
oh boy,
maybe, just maybe, Spurs would be third in the league. No, I totally agree. And Mason Mount's goal against Porto.
I'm sorry, I hate it, but you know they keep signing all these players, and I'm like, I love these players. Why are they joining Werner as well? I know he's not had a great season, but when he was at Leipzig, I absolutely adored Werner. All these players, and it's like it makes me angry, and it's like, so I'm 2-0 Chelsea just because they don't really seem to score 3 or more goals at the moment, but I'm scared they're gonna go and win this Champions League. I hope PSG or City or Bayern can do something about it. I'm sorry, but
I hope Poch can bring it through. But you know,
but there's too many players on that team that I like. It's ridiculous. I hate it. I actually enjoy watching them play more than Tottenham now. I hate it.
You're right. Chelsea have a fantastic squad. He's got them difficult to beat. I agree. That result against West Brom last week. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was an accumulator buster, not financial advice. And so, you know, I can see Tuchel, the way that he manages, it's like there's an aggression. You know, you can see that they're hungry. There's an aggression. There's an anger.
There's a plan, Deji.
And they want to win. And I agree with you. I think they could potentially go all the way. I'm actually slightly more bullish than you for this weekend. Crystal Palace, for me, Zaha is over in the Ivory Coast. Ayew is in Ghana at the moment, and he's doing Afro Nation. Them guys have down tools for the rest of the season. They know they're safe. And so I can see Chelsea going over there and spanking them 4-0. So I'm going to go 4-0. I think Mason Mount,
Deji, I don't think our guest is happy with us, you know.
Are going to do damage. So,
I don't think our guest is happy with us.
Can I have my say now, please?
He's not happy with
I've been sat here for the last 5 minutes while this Chelsea fan club of you two's just been Tooch all this. I'm
sorry.
I'm not having none of that. This is I don't wear this top to talk about Chelsea. Like I know we got a blue background and all that bollocks there, but I'm not having no. Crystal Palace are going to have to do something. They're going to have to come out because I don't like how Chelsea are going on. I admit they're playing very well under Tuchel. I know that. I can see that. Mount looks like he almost stepped up another level again. They got James at right back. They got players in there that I think can obviously hurt the opposition a lot. But I'm not singing them praises like you, man. No.
I'm a football man and a Spurs man. I'm sorry.
When it comes to Chelsea and Arsenal, no. That's
Arsenal. I won't talk about Arsenal nicely, but Chelsea. That
no. You lot had your say. You lot had your Chelsea
supporting
say. Let me have my little bit of say again. Right. Okay. Again, same sort of thing in terms of the other Champions League players, teams that have played in midweek. I think it always has a little bit of an effect. This is not a game that Chelsea would really want to play, even though Crystal Palace are probably not going to have their best players on the pitch. It's Roy Hodgson. Hodgsonosaurus or whatever they call him, he's going to set up in the right way to make sure that these Chelsea boys know what it's not going to just come there and take 3 points. So it's going to be a bit of a bore fest, in my opinion. I don't think there's going to be a lot in it. It's not going to be a lot of space in the game. Because of that, I think that Crystal Palace might stink it out. And I'm going to go for a 0-0 here. I would have gone for a Crystal Palace. Hold on. Let me say my piece. I sat here nice and quietly. I didn't say nothing. Right. 0-0 because I think Crystal Palace will stink the place out. And again, I just think Chelsea put a lot of effort into that game in midweek. One eye maybe on this, going forward. So again, are they really going to throw everything at it? They might do, but I think that Crystal Palace will sit back, soak up the pressure, but I don't see a lot of space in the game. So, yeah, it's going to be a ball fest for me. 0-0. I'm happily saying that.
Wow, Sam. And you know what? I just feel like tonight is a night of wild predictions. I'm just looking at I mean, you know what? We'll see. And fair play. You think it's going to be I just can't see Crystal Palace defence stopping Chelsea.
I think Crystal Palace is terrible.
Alex Coley has been saying some real interesting stuff in the chat. First and foremost, he's predicting a Jack Grealish hat-trick. Remember, I told you, again, everybody, that's not financial advice. Take that with a pinch of salt or with some caution. But Adam Morris has joined.
You see? He's on my wavelength. That's what I'm saying. Adam knows the score.
Can I ask a question? Sam, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Is it the fact that Chelsea have got this Champions League that you think that they're not going to draw? Is it the fact that Crystal Palace are going to make it a ball fest? Because I think Crystal Palace have been awful. I think Crystal Palace is so bad, honestly, so bad. I don't think they have a chance. But do you think it's Crystal Palace being such a defensive, basically their system, 4-4-2, 3 banks? Is that what you think is going to be the reason?
Yeah, plus the fact that I can't put Chelsea to win a game. No, that's only joking. The fact is, yeah, you're right. When teams are that bad, we could say the same thing about Newcastle. Now, I know we're not on the same level as Chelsea in terms of performances, but we're all expecting these teams to just get rolled over. I don't think Palace are going to be rolled over because of the manager. I think the manager, ex-England manager, Roy Hodgson's been around the world. He's been coaching for a long time. The man's, 95 or something like that? I don't even know how old he is. But He's done it all. He knows how to set up. He plays against the big teams well. The thing is, if obviously Chelsea score and they score first, it might be a different matter. But I can see them holding out really tight. And like I said, if they were to score, I predicted 0-0, but if they were to score first, in terms of this being Crystal Palace, it's going to be a tough game for Chelsea. So yeah, I'm going for a 0-0, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 1-1, as Adam Morris has said.
This is why I love predictions, because now I can enjoy watching the games with actually something behind every single game. Now I'm like, oh,
fair enough.
if they score, if Crystal Palace score, I'll be mad.
Alex, my favourite predictor, has gone as far as to say every team has a new manager bounce. Not taking anything away from the new manager, just saying. I think, Alex, to be fair, this is slightly more than just a bounce. A bounce for me is 1 or 2 games, maybe even 3 games. But, you know, they've been on a pretty decent run, Chelsea. So I agree with that. It's slightly more than a bounce. I think Tuchel, in a short period of time, has shown himself to be a better manager than Jose Mourinho.
I'll just add a little bit of nuggets in there as well. Chelsea's last 2 games, a draw and a loss, just to add that into for a little bit of context.
I will also add a nugget, and I'm not going to gas Chelsea anymore after this, but before that West Brom game, they had played Atletico, they had played a lot of other teams and only conceded 2 goals. So that's very impressive. That's very impressive. But look, we're not Chelsea fans TV, we're not Chelsea Road TV, so no more of that.
We'll know. We can refer back to this on the reaction show on Sunday. But we'll move into Burnley, Newcastle. If you don't mind, I'm going to start us off. And again, and I just want to put a caveat real quick to the Burnley and Newcastle fans that are watching. Please do not be offended by what I'm about to do. But I think in the interest of what your team's capable of, both sides, I'm just going to quite simply say that 0-0. Right.
Simple, isn't it?
I'm just going to agree and say nothing else. So you can go straight to Sam. You don't need to come to me after that one.
Of all the games at the weekend, this is the least one I'm looking forward to. I don't even think I'll watch it on Match of the Day. If I record Match of the Day, I'll just skip this one and just move on. Because actually, to be fair, it probably come on last. That's how bad I think this game's probably going to be. Newcastle, although they've showed a spirit against us, and I don't know, but we seem to be able to give them spirit. I just think that's a one-off. The way I've seen Newcastle play this season, it's been horrible. Burnley, again, they're trying a different way of playing. They are trying to press more. They're playing more of almost like a 4-4-2, but 4-4-3 at times. So they're putting players forward. They have changed the style of play, but they're not very good either. So both teams stink fest all day long. And I'm going to go with a 0-0 as well.
Fantastic. So that's the first time since we've been doing the reaction that all presenters have gone with the same scoreline. Sorry, Burnley. Sorry, Newcastle.
Yeah, apologies.
It is a stink fest.
You do know what's going to happen now, don't you guys?
Best game of the weekend. Best game of the weekend.
3-3 incoming. 3-3 incoming, I'm telling you.
Well, I think arguably this is probably going to be the best game of the weekend next. It's the 2:00 kickoff on Sunday. It's West Ham at home to Leicester City. I have to say that's the biggest game this week.
I forgot about that game.
Sam, I'm going to start off with you, Sam.
Ooh, this is I forgot about this now.
I forgot about this game as well.
Because West Ham, Spurs, Man U, just in case you thought.
Yeah, I thought it was, but then I forgot about this one. Again, West Ham. I'm not going to be on their supporters list, but I must admit, got a few of my brethren who are West Ham fans, and they're loving life right now. Loving life. And they should do, because these, let me just have a look at the table again. I'm looking at this table here, and I can see West Ham in 4th place. That don't make sense to me. It's like, I don't know. It's like finding, unicorns. They don't exist. This don't exist in reality. What are they doing there? Sorry, my friends. I'm not going to come off that. West Ham, for me, are playing really well. Jesse Lingard looks like he's found something. He's found something that he wasn't finding at Man U, whether that's just a new lease of life, whether some personal issues have been resolved. Oh, this is going to be a good game. And I can see this being end-to-end sort of stuff. I've seen how West Ham have been playing recently. They've been end-to-end. Leicester, they might sit back and counter, but again, they've done a bit of end-to-end stuff as well. Oof. I'm going to have to go with a West Ham win here. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to have to go with a West Ham win. I think Leicester seem to drop off at these points in the season. I think it's going to be a West Ham, and it's going to be probably 3-2.
Wow, thanks, Sam. Thank you. 3-2 to West Ham. Wow, I never thought I would see Mighty Sam say such a thing, but here we are. What's today's date again?
I don't know what I'm doing.
8th of April, my friend.
I've not drunk enough water today. That's what it is. Dehydration.
3-2 win this weekend. Darius.
Again, a London team, but God, it's hard to not kind of praise West Ham for what they're doing, because last year every man wrote off West Ham. Even, you know what? I can't remember who they lost 2-0 to. I think it was Newcastle. They lost 2-0 to first game of the season, and everyone had wrote them off this season as well. And it's crazy to think that a few signings and sort of just a system that complements players can do so much for a team and individuals. And can I just give a special shout out, individual special shout out to Thomas Soucek, because that guy,
Quality player.
I think he's becoming a little bit more than quality now, because
Quality player.
I don't really know DMs who can do the DM stuff, but then do the attacking stuff to the degree that he's doing it at as well. He's scored a hat trick and 2 goals in the international break, and I think he's on 10 goals in the league for West Ham in his first proper season, first full season. It's absolutely ridiculous. And don't forget, he was doing this at Slavia Prague as well. I think he scored 16 goals the season before this as well. So this isn't like a one-off thing. He's been doing this for about 2 or 3 years. When you had players like that, Lingard again, I think that there's a really interesting article that I read about sports psychology and like the mental state of players, and how like you don't lose your ability straight away over a day or even over a period of time. You kind of have to, and this is why I think, and I hate to go back to Tottenham again, but I think this is why Mourinho's kind of struggling, because he's not got that arm around the players and he's not really giving the players that confidence. Lingard got confidence and now he looks amazing. He looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, West Ham, I can't stop singing their praises, but I'm not going to speak too much. Leicester, again, I think Leicester are great, but you're right, Sam. They seem to drop off slightly, and they've had injuries throughout the season, and to say they're still third place after these injuries is extremely impressive. But if West Ham win this game, they go with 55 points.
And that's what I'm saying.
Only a point behind Leicester.
I don't want to give it to them, but I just think they're playing that well.
I also agree. I think they're going to win. I do think they're going to win, because I think Chelsea will win. I want us to win. I want Spurs to win. So if we all win those games and we're 52, 54, 55, 56 points. Sorry. let me bring it down. But yeah, if West Ham catch up with Leicester and win that game, then does that not open up potentially another spot to be fighting for between the teams below?
There's no ifs for us.
But do you not think if West Ham beat Leicester and there's now only a point between them, and like I said, if Chelsea were to win and Liverpool might win, then there's only a few teams between 2 spots, and you never know.
I get you.
So I'm gonna go for. What did you say? 3-2. You said 3-2, didn't you, Sam?
I said 3-2.
I'm gonna go 2-1. I don't think it's gonna be as many goals, but I'm gonna go West Ham 2-1 win. I think West Ham will most likely win the game, but yeah, I think West Ham are great.
Darius, no, I'm with you. And you know what? For me, what pains me is I just wonder what the Tottenham scouts, what they're doing and where they're looking, because all these teams, Wolves, Leicester, West Ham even seem to be plucking these fantastic players from all over Europe. Where are our players? Well, let me tell you, some of them, where our scouts are in Montserrat. That's where they are, in Montserrat, looking for players where they should be.
With about 200 inhabitants on the island.
Man said Montserrat, you know.
Mocking it, Deji. You're mocking it.
Yeah?
Deji, man.
Okay, but I have to say, I'm going to make a prediction. It's not for West Ham. So far, the last few weeks, I've gone against West Ham. And
they prove you wrong.
They proved me wrong. So this week, I'm going to have to bite the bullet. I agree with you, Darius. I think Moyes has got these guys. I mean, it's Moyes, for crying out loud.
It's Moyes. This is what I'm saying.
David Moyes. He had a chance already with these lot. He had a chance already, and they gave him a second chance.
Come on.
Brought him back, you know. Old ex said, you know what? I ain't done with you yet. Couple more beats.
You can't make this stuff up. These lot are blowing bubbles legitly. So I can see West Ham winning this game 2-1. I'm hoping the wheels fall off, but it's highly unlikely. And dare I say, I'm going to put it out here live and direct. West Ham will get a Champions League spot. I think it's their season.
No,
everything
just seems
to be
going too far.
And
no, sorry, Dave.
They're going to get a Champions League spot.
No, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go too far with these things, and you've gone too far. No, I'm not having that.
Is that Mark Noble to lift the Champions League next year?
Stop it. Move on. Come on, move on.
Mate, West Ham are going to get a Champions League spot. You've heard it here live and direct. I am a Spurs fan, but sometimes you just got to bite the bullet. Everything seems to be, all the bubbles seems to be heading to Stratford. And so for me, I'm not going to lie,
And can I
West
just
Ham,
say as well,
yeah.
they're linked with Tammy Abraham as well. There's been a few rumors that they're linked with Tammy Abraham. So if they can make a few good signings and get the Champions League spot, they can build on it as well. So it's getting it. Let me not speak. I'm
My
going
thing
back
is,
on
why
mute.
not? They deserve it. If football, they deserve it. You know, we talk about the league. The league table doesn't lie. It doesn't. You know, West Ham are the fourth best team in the Premier League. They are better than Chelsea. Yeah, at the
Don't
moment.
say that
The
out
league
loud,
doesn't
Dej.
lie. The league doesn't lie. Look,
Oh.
I'm hurting. Adam called it right.
Oh,
Adam
this is
said, you Tottenham boys, Tottenham have hurt you bad.
week on week, Adam. Week
But
on
I
week,
give
my
up.
friend.
Yeah, I give up with football. Anyway, look.
Do it. Let's do it.
note,
This is it. Come on now.
the
Do it,
second-
Deji.
The second biggest game of the
Come on.
weekend.
Do it.
Spurs
Do it now.
versus Manchester United.
Come on.
Alex, this is for you.
This is
Adam,
what
this is
everyone
for
in the
you.
comments has
Errol,
been waiting
this is
for.
you.
Come on. Let's
We
do
are
this.
going to give you the predictions live and direct.
I need to sit back in my
Again,
chair.
caveat this before you give the score predictions. Darius, you're going to come in first. This is
Are you sure?
advice, but heed what we say carefully, audience. Heed what we say carefully. Darius, over to you.
Oh, Darius, mute.
Darius,
We have an extended version. We have an extended version coming on Saturday that I'm pretty sure will go into more detail on our thoughts on the game. But I don't want to waste too many people's time. I'm not confident anymore. I even said after the Newcastle game, you know what? It's be typical of Tottenham to beat Manchester United. It'd be typical. But you know what? I look back at the game. I'm not watching the full Newcastle game again. I watched the highlights. I looked at the stats. Did you guys know that we let Newcastle have 4 expected goals? 4 expected goals. That's the most amount of expected goals they've had in 7 years. I read 7 years.
Criminal.
Steve Bruce Newcastle scored 4 expected goals, not 4 real goals, 4 expected goals. So they had 20 odd shots. Do you know how that's unforgivable? We don't want to talk about that. So for me, right, I've got no confidence. I've got no confidence. I don't think that the team are gonna carry any sort of, you know, pain of the fans or hurt of the fans on their back. They're not gonna want to. I don't think any of them are gonna go out and prove anything. I've lost that will scare. They should have done that at Arsenal. They should have done that at Zagreb. They should have done that at Newcastle.
Look at the comments.
Unfortunately, I'm left as a Spurs fan to not have any faith that these guys are gonna pull through. The 6-1 was great. The 6-1 was amazing. And I'm gonna just say one more time, you guys got slapped 6-1. So I'm just saying that so I can say that before, you know, whatever happens on the weekend. But I just don't see how anything's gonna go right. If we can't handle Newcastle, what is going to give you any confidence against this team? So for me, I'm gonna try and not make this as embarrassing for us. 3-1 United.
Damn, Darius.
Sorry, it's damning. It's damning. You know, and I can't trust anymore. They've left me no room to trust them anymore. So I'm not gonna do it anymore. I'm not gonna do it anymore.
And you know what?
Sorry.
Before I bring in Sam, because you know Sam, when I'm just looking back at the score predictions, he's been on a more optimistic kind of score predictions. He's kind of been opposite to ours. So let me just join you by saying that I totally agree. Look, Man U right now are in their dressing rooms, in their homes or whatever, and they are playing over that 6-1. Because after we spanked them, that's really when they started to kind of turn things around.
Facts.
You know, we thought they were going to lose Ollie and the wheels was going to fall off. And, you know, I remember the smirk on Mourinho's face when
he touched his head. Oh,
Come
no.
on,
do you remember the one at the end when the whistle went and he tapped Ole's head? Oi.
Hey, he said to him, you lot tried, didn't it? You lot tried, little tap. Let me tell you, Ollie has been waiting for this game. Not even the Rona would have stopped this game from happening. I can see Man U destroying us on the weekend.
Oh, God.
I'm going to go 3-0. I don't see us scoring. You know, Mourinho's going to be petrified. He's going to sit back. Kane ain't getting a touch of the ball. Son, he's still knackered. they're gonna spank us 3-0, and they're not gonna.
And we're home as well, aren't we?
Yeah, well,
Does that don't matter?
He's gonna do a dirty. And let's be real. If there's one team that Spurs cannot and always struggle with, Man U have the most wins against Spurs than any other Premier League side. And I'm still haunted when we were in White Hart Lane, we were 3-0 up and we still managed to lose 5-3. I mean, this
I was at that game. I was at that game.
You was at that game? I didn't even know you was at that game.
I was at that game.
So for me, Sam, I know you've got a more optimistic prediction, but I don't see us scoring. I expect a 3-0 drubbing. And just to add salt into the wound, Adam Morris, no point predicting this. It's already over. 3-0, and I have to agree. And
Pogba's back in it.
I'm not going to lie. Sam, over to you.
Okay. So just a little bit of a cheeky shout out for our Paxton Road TV. Look out for the Paxton Road preview of this game on Saturday, 12 p.m. It should be good. I know Deji Spurs is going to be appearing on the United agenda to talk the same thing. Please don't go on there and say the same thing you said now. Please. Right. Again, I'm going to try and come with a little bit more of a balanced approach where possible. Again, Man United are playing tonight, obviously. It's not going to be an easy game for them. I think they're 1-0 up at the moment, 60-odd minutes gone. They've still got to think about this game again next week. Spurs have had not a lot to do this week in terms of, games, which is unusual for us. A week's break. It's been a lot of quiet, shall we say, at the moment. Obviously, the stories came out about Serge and Toby earlier on in the week, but it's kind of gone a little bit quiet at the moment. Jose's plotting. This is what I think Jose kind of lives for. This almost back against the wall. Everybody's like, I know you're laughing, Deji. I can hear you. I can hear you laughing. But let me say my thing. Let me say my point. Right? Yeah. So his back's up against the wall. It's Man United, his old club. He knows that this is really his last chance saloon, would you say, for this season in terms of being able to really pull out a big performance? I know we've got Leicester to come, but this is the last of the big teams supposedly that we've got.
Minus the final, obviously.
Minus the final. Man United ain't got anybody in defence. Come on, we're talking Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw. Now, I know Shaw's done a bits and pieces, but he can't defend, in my opinion. And they've got McFred with Fries in the middle. Come on. Come on. Their midfield is not better than our midfield on its day. Now, I'm going to go with a Spurs victory, and I'm going to go with my chest. I'm going to go with my chest on this one. We can't keep a clean sheet. I know that. So I'm not going to say it's going to be a 0, but 2-1 Spurs. 2-1 Spurs.
Sam, you know what? I really rate your confidence there and you being able to bring out your chest. Man, you are second.
Don't care.
Man, you are second in the league. Paul Pogba.
Comfortably.
And do we have a better midfield than Man U? I don't know.
Just say the names. Fred and McTominay. I know if Pogba comes in, that might be a little bit of a different matter. But Fred and McTominay, or put in Matic. Come on, man. If one of them three, even if two of them play, nah, man, I'm not having none of that.
I agree. If two of them play, there's no question. But if you play McTominay, Bruno, and Pogba, that's going to be a good battle. That'll be a good battle.
Mr. B, if you're still watching, are you coming on our show, or are you going to just try and stay away?
There's no question. He's coming on the show. Don't give him a choice.
Well, make sure you
can't give him a choice.
We'll talk about Fred in that show then.
Well, you heard it here live and direct. Sam has predicted a Spurs win, and that's even against the bookies actually this weekend. But Sam, you know what? If you pull that off, apart from Darius, I'm speaking for you here as well, and myself giving you the biggest props online. I will do a 1-hour special just for you, Sam, on how you managed to dissect a 2-1 victory for Spurs with that team that can barely get out of their own arse. But anyway, we'll see. Let's hope. I hope we win, but I don't see it. That's all I'm going to say.
It would be typical, though. It would be very, very typical for us to do all of what we've done and then kind of Ole's licking his. It's the same. You know what? It's kind of the same thing I've applied to Leeds and City, where Ole might lick his lips and he might kind of lick his lips a little bit too much and try and take the piss a little bit. And Jose might kind of say, I still kind of know how to deal with you. But for me, it's the track record and what's happened previously. I'm done kind of giving these guys chances anymore. So I've got no faith in the manager or the team. So
any team that can make Joe Linton, like Diego Costa,
half his goals scored against us.
They got that team's got problems. Joe Linton only scores against Spurs.
Dwight Gale.
We should be ashamed of ourselves. But anyway.
God.
You do remember we didn't lose that game, gentlemen. We didn't lose. We
basically did. We
didn't lose it. Come on, stay with us. Stay with us.
The worst team in the Premier League, Newcastle. Facts. Even the Newcastle fans know that their team is the worst team in the league. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, we'll see what happens. Sam, we love your confidence, and we'll see who's right this weekend. Look, last but not least, Sheffield United against Arsenal. The only thing I would love to say about this particular game is that if there is one team that I say that has been worse than Spurs this season, then I can proudly say, hand on heart, that is Arsenal. They are absolutely rubbish. And I'm delighted to say that because we're having a pretty bad season. But Arsenal, I don't even recognize them. For me, Arsenal's so bad that I'm going to kick this off by saying that I see Sheffield United winning 2-1. And another really bold prediction that Ryan Brewster is going to be on the score sheet, guys. Ryan Brewster is going to bang a belter in, and Sheffield United is going to come home with the 3 points. Sorry, I had to put it out there because Arsenal, if I don't trust Spurs, I definitely do not trust the South Londoners. Darius, tell me first.
Me first? Is it me first?
Yeah.
Well, I think this is not very nice for Arsenal fans to have a preview show being done by 3 Spurs supporters. It's not really fair, is it? It's not really fair. However, I'm going to try and be a little bit more balanced, even though it's Arsenal. They are going to be missing Tierney at left back. He's a massive miss for them. Aubameyang, I think he should go away. Think about that hairstyle. Maybe come with a different one, because that Travis Scott look he's trying to pull off there is not working for me. You got 350 bags a week. Do something else with that. That's my first thing. Sheffield United, I do believe, are down. I think they're gone. I think everybody kind of knows that. So what have they got to play for? Nothing. They should just go out and there say, you know what? This is Arsenal. And Arsenal are only 9 places above us. So they're not that good. Come on, lads. Let's go out there and take it to them. Let's take it to... No, I'm telling the truth here. Take it to them, lads. Because he's not even got... What's his name? He's not even the manager no more. So it's just another caretaker manager. He's got nothing to prove. Just go out there and do what you can, lads. Throw it at them. And I think they will. And for that reason, again, Arsenal being in Europa, that's all Arteta's focused on. I think the league for them, they know they can't get top 4. I don't even think they can get top 6. Maybe even 8's a push for them. However, they have got a good opportunity in the Europa League. I'm not going to lie. Come on, Sheffield United. Take it to them and bang it. 2-0.
2-0 Sheffield United, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam, wow. And you know what? I'm just going to the comments before I bring you in, Darius. You know, Alex talks about if West Ham win, they're capable of finishing second, only 4 points behind third, and with momentum on their side. Yes, I agree. West Ham are making moves. Adam Morris, Sam, this is directed at you in particular. Sam, you're not taking your meds with so well. I think definitely it's fair to say that Sam is definitely in a bullish mood this evening in terms of his score predictions. I can say that much with a 2-0 Sheffield United score prediction just now. And Bob Spur has just said, I think it being typical of Spurs, if we win, so that's us, this win is a myth, guys. We've not turned up for any must-win game this season. And that's why I was convinced, Mr. Bob Spur, that Spurs, since they haven't turned up all season, they won't be turning up this weekend. Darius, you've heard 2-1 Sheffield United from me. You've heard 2-0 from Sam. Are you saying 3-0 to Sheffield United this weekend? I'm not trying to put words in there.
You know what? I wish I could. And I'm actually, this time, I ain't praising no Arsenal. I praise Chelsea. I praise West Ham. I ain't praising no Arsenal. The only thing I will give them credit for is Martin Odegaard, and he's not their player. So that's it. For me, Arsenal have been absolutely god-awful, shocking. They were 15 points. They were 15th place in the league at one point. They haven't been good at all. But like, if they win that Europa League and they're in the Champions League, even though they'll probably go out in the group stages, it's still going to look embarrassing for us to say that Arsenal have had this shocking season and they still can go and win the Europa League. And we lost to Zagreb. So I am not going to say much until the season's over. On that case, I'm going to let them do their thing. I don't think they're winning at the moment. So I'm going to let them do their 0-0. I'm going to let them do their thing. Sheffield United, again, just as bad. Down. This game is like, it's as much as a nothing game as that. Well, the Burnley Newcastle game has more than this game. This is a nothing game. This is literally a nothing game. You got mid-table and bottom of the table. So this will probably be just as bad as the Burnley Newcastle game in terms of quality. I'm probably gonna predict though. Why am I going to predict Arsenal? Bro, Sheffield 1-0 win. Let's see. No, I want to see Ryan Brewster score, man. I want to see Ryan Brewster score his first goal I think it's his first goal for Sheffield. So, yeah, 1-0 Sheffield. Arsenal, I can't. They can't. If Man U can do me one thing, that will be to knock them out of that flipping Europa League if they get the chance, because I don't want to see them go any further. Because if they do win that Europa League, we're going to look like the biggest mugs of this century.
Well, I'm fairly confident. I think Arteta's playing Russian roulette, and when you're a gambler, 9 out of 10 times the house always wins, and I can't see Arteta.
He's the blackhead. He's the blackhead Ollie.
Yeah,
he started Willian today, so he clearly don't want to win that badly, does he?
It's not going to happen.
Nope.
Just to Adam Morris, just to remind you, Zagreb are losing at home to Villarreal. Thanks, Adam.
Firing out
we
shots.
Couldn't see that for ourselves.
Firing out shots.
Should have been playing Villarreal today.
Unai Emery as well, isn't it?
It's an absolute disgrace. But Arsenal, I put all their eggs in one basket, and dare I say, that basket won't be full. Look, you've heard from the three of us. Arsenal are not expected to get a point this weekend. Don't bother adding them to your betting slip, because it will let you down. Thank you very much. We now move over to Monday Night Football. How long are we going to be having these kind of 6 o'clock kickoffs on a Monday? It was just an observation that I've had. But it's West Brom, Southampton. Darius,
I'm not going to spend too long on this, because again, I don't think these two teams have much to play for. I do believe that West Brom are down, and I do believe that Southampton have been, again, really, really bad this season. I don't know if people realize actually how bad Southampton have been, but they've lost. They got slapped 9 twice. Like, they got slapped 9 again this season. I've been on this Hasenhüttl wave, man. Like, I even said that Hasenhüttl could be the Tottenham manager, but you can't get slapped 9-0 twice and still be Tottenham manager.
You wouldn't take him over Mourinho?
I would take him over Mourinho, but I wouldn't be like happy that he was taken over Mourinho. Put it like that. I don't think he's at that level. But and again, like I said, the Tottenham game as well, that proved it was a little bit naive in that sense. But yeah, they should beat West Brom. Again, West Brom will be gassed. But I think that Chelsea game was a little bit of a freak game. Thiago Silva did get sent off. I think people do like to forget that. And losing your main centre back is gonna affect the team. So, and they did still go for it. So I hope Southampton can win, because I like Hasenhüttl, but yeah, there's not much in this game. Let's go for Southampton 2-0. 2-0. Scratch that 2-1. I've just had an epiphany in my head. 2-1. That Diagna is going to score whatever his name is.
Sam?
Listen. The way Sam Allardyce sat back sat back on his chair and crossed his legs
That
when
was
he popped
cold.
in the 5th goal and laughing
Cold.
to his mates at the side. I rated that all day
That was
long.
cold.
He
That
turned
was
to
so
his
cold.
mates and just said, "Look at this lot on the pitch. We slapped them when the 5th goal went in." And he sat back. I said, "Nah, that's
was amazing.
major. That was a major point for me." And from that perspective, I want West Brom to go out and burn this lot, because the fact is, everybody gives Sam Allardyce a hard day. He's a decent manager, I think. He's not the most attractive, but I think he can play in different ways. Everybody thinks he's a bit of a defensive man. He's a dinosaur, but I don't think he is. I think he's a very smart man. He kind of on the same sort of level as what's his name at Burnley, Sean Dice. You know what I mean? They've got ways of playing, but because they ain't got the players to do it, they have to play in a certain way. Again, when Sam was at Bolton and he was getting them up to, in the Champions League sort of places or close to, you know what I mean? You sure that he can do that. Now,
I've got a quick question for you. You said that, sorry to interrupt you. Do you think Sam would be able to do a decent job at West Ham, given the players that he's got, given the players that Moyes has got?
I don't think they'd want him at West Ham. That's the thing, because he's been at West Ham and he's done.
Yeah,
he's done
true. True. Of course,
they stunk him out. They don't like that.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? Again, but going back to the point about Sam, I think he can play in different ways, and I think now he's just going to let them players go out and play. And I saw a few signs in there that they can actually put together a decent run towards the end of the season. Now, I think they're down. I don't think they're going to make it out of that, because it's going to take a lot. They're on 21 points. They're 8 points behind Newcastle. So you need to get out of that. That's going to be hard to do in 8 games left. But I think they'll put a good run towards the end of the season. And I think they'll beat this lot. I think they'll beat Southampton, because Southampton, again, is what Southampton turns up. As you just mentioned, Darius, any manager that gets bust up 9 in one season, no, you can't have that. So I'm not going to be as bullish. I'm going to go 2-1 West Brom.
Wow, Sam. From my perspective, sticking with the theme of the evening, surprising me there with that call. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Southampton. I think I watched the game against Burnley. I expected Burnley to turn them over, to be honest, because they've been on a downer. But Southampton did pop it about on the weekend. But can I say to you this? Danny Ings, what a striker.
Yeah, he's a striker.
What a striker.
Can really see him going City,
Harry Kane, if we lost Harry Kane, his successor is Danny Ings. That guy is coolness personified. The finish against Burnley. Did you see the pace? Then he slowed down and he buried it. And I had no doubt. When I saw him running, I was like to my missus, that's a goal. And he didn't disappoint. For me, when you've got Danny Ings on song, only Kane for me is above him.
How old is Danny Ings? How old
28.
is he?
I think he's the same age as Kane, isn't he?
I think he's got a year on him. I think he's 28. I'm not too sure.
If we lose Kane this summer, we have to go and get Danny Ings.
You rate him that much, Deji?
I really do. I think he was unfortunate at Liverpool. I think
injuries.
Sometimes in football things just sometimes doesn't go your way. It's football, it's life. But he's come back. He's a top quality striker, and I just think that he gives Southampton, when he's there, you can see the players lift up. Che Adams looks like a Dybala. Do you know what I'm saying? Armstrong is looking like I don't know, like a mount, and what's his name? Who's the other? Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse is free kicks look like David Beckham. Nah, man, I got to give it to them, and I think
it's the depth of squad, isn't it? They've got no depth. Southampton, that's their issue.
We talk about not having a right back at Spurs, and we had Carl Walker-Peters sitting on the bench for years, and he's gone to Southampton, and he's turned into AKA Dani Alves. I mean, it makes me sick.
It does.
We let him go.
But we had to get that Højbjerg deal done. So I don't think they were going to let Højbjerg go unless they got Walker-Peters. Now again, we should have been stronger in the negotiations, because that's a proper egg on our face job at the moment.
Mate,
with the right back we've got now.
Who got the better deal? Do you know what I'm saying? Who got the better deal is the question I'm going to ask. So I'm going to go Southampton 2-1. I think they're going to bounce back. I think West Brom, it was a freak result for them. Sam Allardyce, he might have been lapping it up, but he'll be brought back down to earth this weekend. And the final game on Monday night.
Is there more games?
There's one more, Everton.
Flipping hell, how many games are there? Jeez.
Yeah,
Oh,
Brighton,
sorry.
Everton, last game. Score prediction, Darius.
I just want to say I absolutely love Brighton and I absolutely love Graham Potter. He is one guy who I think is
I think he's next England manager, personally.
He should be. He should be. I'm telling you, I think Graham Potter is the guy's got a plan. You know, when managers have a clear plan and you can see that he's trying to do something with a team, with a Brighton team like that, and he can clearly set out a plan. And it's like, if you give him better players and he can apply that same ideology to better players, I don't see how he can't do a great job in a better team. I think if Rodgers goes on to a bigger club, he'll go to Leicester. And I also think he could get that England job. I think he's good enough to be the Leicester manager. And I also think he's good enough to manage for England. So I'm not going to say too much. I also think Everton have been good this season. They have fallen off significantly. I don't know if that's because they were playing better than people thought, or they, you know what I mean? They kind of just came back to reality, but nobody really predicted them to finish in the top 4. I think that start of the season was a big freak start and they kind of came back to reality. They lost a few players, but yeah, I mean, prediction wise, I'm going to go for Brighton to win. And I'm going to go for 2-1 Brighton. I do think that Brighton will win. I think that tactically, even though it's Carlo Ancelotti and he's an absolute legend of the game, I think Brighton might edge it, you know, I really do. I think Everton are a little bit on the decline and I can't think if they've got any injuries, but I just don't remember them having a full squad. And they've not been good for the past few weeks. So yeah, I'm going to go for a Brighton 2-1 win.
I'm going to probably second that. The thing is, it's very weird with Everton, to be honest. I think sometimes they do flatter to deceive. I'm not going to lie, when they beat us and then they went on their little run at the beginning of the season, I thought, mate, Ancelotti, he might have just done it for Everton. And they might just have a great season.
That's what I was
thinking.
But
Everton, a little bit like Spurs, you know, quality always shines through and, you know, and they've stabilised and they're in their rightful place where they normally are every season, regardless of the players. I do rate Richarlison. I think he's a baller. And I think Calvert-Lewin has had what a brilliant season. I think Everton fans, you should not be disappointed. They've done what they normally do, which is they're flattered to deceive. And I think Ancelotti has a bigger job in his hands. And I think for them, they've had a good season. They beat Liverpool, and they should be happy with that, to be honest with you. But I think Brighton play really good football. I don't know, you know. I'm going for an Everton win. Sorry, I'm not going to go Brighton. Brighton, I think after they lost Lamptey, they just haven't really been the same. And I've been watching them, and they seem to me to be kind of labouring with their results. It's not been great. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 Everton. I can see Doucouré and Calvert-Lewin back on the score sheet and Everton getting the 3 points, which will make things very interesting in the table. Sam, over to you.
So Everton, if they had their strongest 11 out, which included the likes of Alan, James, Doucouré, and them sort of mans, I would say Everton all day. I don't know what their injury situation is saying. I think for Everton now, it's a point where they're comfortable in that sort of like top 7 or 8. I can't see them finishing any lower than that. Is that a good season for them? I think an even better season for them would be if they finished above Liverpool, because you imagine what that would be like in Liverpool if they were to finish above Liverpool, given that Liverpool were champions. So that's an incentive for them. Do I see them really busting a gut to really go out and beat Brighton tomorrow? Not really. Brighton, though, for me, they struggle to score goals. So I think it's going to be a pretty tight game. I'm going for a draw. I'm not going for a high draw. So I'm going for a 1-1 on that, just because of the fact I think both teams will cancel each other out. But they're both good enough to nick a goal. But Brighton don't score a lot. So again, I'm not going to see them scoring 2 or 3. But a draw, 1-1.
1-1. Brilliant. Okay, thanks, Sam. Well, there you have it. Ladies and gents, the FTB Premier League show with our score predictions. We have the reaction show on Sunday where we will be going through the scores. We'll be doing the tally. I think Brezzy at the moment is currently top of the league table, but we'll be sharing all of that and the update table. Brezzy, the Arsenal fan, yes, it pains me to say, don't know how, but he managed to get a couple of cheeky ones over the line. And he sits top with 4 points from last weekend's results. But it's good to have both yourself, Darius, and Sam with us today. Hopefully, you guys can mount a title challenge to get yourself that league title and actually do something that our beloved Tottenham Hotspur can't do, and actually just secure some 3 points, actually, some decent 3 points.
Yeah.
So, but on that note, it's been a great evening. Thanks to everyone that's been watching. Thanks to everyone for your comments. Please remember to like and subscribe. Please tune in to Paxton Road TV for the pre-match preview for this weekend. Please get involved on the reaction show. No doubt, on the weekend, I will be definitely reacting to the Tottenham Man U drubbing and telling you again, reiterating that I want Jose out before the 25th of April. But on that note, have a good evening.
Can I just say a little bit before we go? Just note this one thing. All I want to say is just with regards to Paxton Road TV, the name originator, Deji Spurs. He's the one that's come out with that name. So I'm going to give him that props because we were going through all kinds of names. But Deji Spurs, Paxton Road TV. There you go. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. No love for that, Sam.
Wicked.
Darius, thank you very much.
I enjoyed it.
See you on the weekend.
See you later.